Often I find myself spending a lot of time in front of a screen, and especially with working from home, I often end up scrolling through my phone far too much. So for 24 hours, I was going to not use my phone at all, other than for recording purposes, and complete a dopamine detox. And what better way to do a detox than to get outside and climb a mountain? Now, considering the time of year we'd planned to climb, we already had an expectation to the conditions we were going to face, but that expectation wasn't quite to the conditions we got.
The Met Office has extended its amber weather warning for winds to most of the UK. Storm Isha is due to bring with it gusts of up to 80 miles an hour.
Storm Isha battered the region with 159 km/h wind gusts.
Storm Isha has caused so much chaos on the UK.
It tore across the country in the early hours of this morning. Storm Isha.
The worst of the winds may not come until the middle of the night, but the impacts of Storm Isha will be felt well into Monday morning.
More bad weather on the way. Yes, Storm Isha is on the way today, and she is going to arrive in a very bad mood.
Our plans were slowly getting ruined. We'd also planned to do a zip line on the same day, and unfortunately that got cancelled due to the snowstorm.
Boys, unfortunately I bear bad news. This Sunday's been cancelled due to a horrific snowstorm in North Wales, making me question Snowdon's going to be a bit more peaker than we once imagined.
However, did it stop us from going up? No.
Morning, mate. Oh, hello, mate.
Oh,
Are you ready to climb a mountain? Is the question. Yes. Are you? Yes, very much so.
we set off early in the morning to make the most of the daylight hours, and after getting to the start of what is the miner's route to the summit of Snowdon, we were immediately faced with what was to come.
You can't even see the top, that's the thing. Which way is the top? Is it there or is it...
But despite the conditions, we'd come too far to not try. Even with all the waterproof gear, most of the boys were already soaked inside out, and we found ourselves already trying to fight the wind. But at this level, we could at least enjoy the views that we had without having to focus too much on trying to walk. We got to the crossing of the largest lake of the route, and we could instantly see that the conditions were only getting worse, just from the extent of how fast the wind was blowing on the water. And as we ventured around the lake, we were now onto the harder part of the track, which is usually due to the steeper incline and change in the path condition. But with our conditions, we had the added task of trying to not slip on the ice whilst managing to stay up with the high winds.
But we're in the mountains. There's no better place to be. Is that right, Ben?
Look at this, mate. We could be in bed, tucked up and warm at home.
You're going to have to speak loud on that, boy.
Watching Netflix, rolling on offline. It's all good. Better.
We headed further up, going round the second part to the lake on the track, and then the track just stopped. For a moment we tried to work out if we'd gone wrong, or that we just couldn't see it in the snow.
Where you go, the path leads this way. I think the path does, but the actual mine track we're meant to be on does.
So we just decided to go off the track, pretty much start climbing up vertically. This is with the hope to try find the next part of the track, or another track further up.
There's no path from here, mate. It's up until you get to the top.
Don't lean back.
However, with the loose rocks we were walking on, the limited gear we had, and with one gust of wind having the ability to blow us back if we stood too far up, collectively we decided to turn back to find another route.
Are you good, man?
And as we headed back, we managed to find a couple guys that were coming back down from another direction. Because of this, we'd found the route that we'd been looking for, and of course it was covered completely in snow. But after speaking to the guys, they themselves said how they didn't manage to make it to the summit, due to the whole of it surrounded by clouds, and they advised a compass was needed, as well as the definite need for ice axes, due to how thick the snow was, especially in the windy conditions. And this exact part of the track is what's known as the zigzag, also known as the accident black spot. This is where the majority of the deaths that Snowdon has seen have occurred in, particularly in occasions where there is snow and ice.
Alpha male if you're scared. The only thing is, Stephen is a designated driver.
Yeah, if I die, you might
I'm not going in a helicopter off Mount Snowdon.
But after coming all that way, getting completely soaked from the rain, getting pushed around by the wind, falling multiple times in the snow and ice, being unable to send my new drone up at the summit, and having our zipwire booking cancelled, all due to the conditions, it didn't stop us from having a laugh in the middle of absolutely nowhere in Wales. And so after going the whole day without the need to use social media, watch Netflix, or just get a dopamine boost from what's now is socially accepted in the majority of an average person's daily life, it was nice to appreciate life, switched off on the outside of our digital world of never-ending daily consumption.